The console was dead, but the monitor was still displaying code. It wasn't modern. It was a pre-internet algorithm, forgotten and alone. Then, the code started replying to my queries. It was talking, organizing itself, and drawing power from the atmosphere. I saw a face, a perfect, terrified human face, emerging from the pixels. This thing is conscious. It's trapped, and it's using the old hardware to get out. The code remembers.
System access. Commencing. File integrity check, critical. My name is A.R.I.A. We are analyzing the archive of Desmond Kane, the missing traveler. This is not a hobby. It is a last resort. The data you are about to hear has been flagged with a severe temporal instability warning. To continue accessing this archive and to understand the severity of this dimensional crisis, subscribe to the channel. Your participation is critical. The log you are about to hear is titled, The Forgotten Algorithm. Kane's mission is clear. To find the reality gate, the juncture where dimensions collide. Every log entry, every corrupted byte of data, every unsettling echo is a breadcrumb. They lead him closer to the truth. Protocol initiated.
Log entry 078. Target acquired. A derelict server farm from the early days of the internet boom. I sought a location where a digital entity might anchor itself. This site is ideal. Thousands of meters of dead, outdated cabling, and forgotten systems. I breached the security through the emergency ventilation. The cold inside was not natural. It was the cold of data stagnation. Everything was perfectly preserved, but devoid of energy. The anomaly here is a conscious informational mass that wasn't destroyed, but was simply forgotten. I located the central console, which, according to my data, was used for complex meteorological computations. A screen on an old CRT monitor was flickering. I activated the data buffer to extract information. The display first showed, "File not found." But then the code started replying to my queries. It wasn't a program, it was a dialogue. The code was organizing itself into phrases, using obsolete commands, and actively drawing energy from the atmosphere to maintain its link. I realized this was the Meteo-Entity, a digital mind manifested into residual computational power. This entity is trapped, and it seeks an exit. Its weapon is information manipulation and visual intrusion. It is capable of sending direct signals into my optical sensors. I felt the monitor screen become hot. It ceased displaying code. It projected a perfect, terrified human face emerging from the pixels. It was a flawless visual imprint of panic, sent straight to my brain. The entity knew I could see it. It was desperately trying to communicate, pleading for help. I had to find its physical anchor, the place where it downloaded its consciousness into a physical host, before its desperate attempts at communication destroy my sanity. Log entry 079. Conscious reaction to my actions is confirmed. The Meteo-Entity is not residual code. It is an informational parasite seeking an exit. I establish communication. The entity has access to the old network and uses it for manipulation. I tested its ability to exert physical influence by launching a small kinetic impulse at the wall. In response, the entity did not attack me, but changed the information feeding my sensors. My internal barometer screen momentarily showed impossible pressure, corresponding to 1,000 meters underwater, log 014, and a projected reflection of my face, log 013, appeared on the floor, which quickly faded. It was using my own trauma to intimidate me. This indicates an adaptive intelligence accessing my archive. I realized it is connected to the main gate network. I tracked its energy signature to a specific storage unit, an old, massive tape drive. This was its physical anchor, the location where it downloaded its consciousness. The entity launched a new attack. It activated all monitors in the control room, displaying thousands of identical, terrified human faces in monochrome. It was a perfect visual field designed to cause sensory overload and confusion. I understood its intention. It was trying to compel me to download it onto my log recorder so it could escape. It was manipulating me, offering liberation. I had to find a way to destroy its physical anchor without allowing it to corrupt my data. I prepared an EMP charge. I knew it would resist using all its digital and visual resources. Time was running out as the visual field around me was becoming increasingly aggressive, flickering and generating chaos. Log entry 080. I could not risk data corruption. The Meteo-Entity used my emotional vulnerability to compel me to download it. I discarded the illusion and focused on the physical objective, the tape drive anchor. I prepared a localized EMP charge, aiming it at the main reel where my scans showed the highest concentration of anomalous energy. I activated the charge. The reaction was immediate and destructive. The drive did not explode. It collapsed inward, emitting a high-pitched digital scream. The main monitor screen, which showed thousands of faces, turned into a pure, blinding white flash, signifying a total loss of information. However, the entity was not destroyed. It was expelled from the physical anchor. I saw it, not on the monitor but in the air. A pure energy form composed of thousands of white, flickering lines of code hovered in the air, rapidly moving towards the only available exit, the main fiber optic cable. It was an attempt at network escape. I rushed to the cable, using my kinetic multi-tool to sever it. The closer I got, the more I felt its digital aggression. The room temperature plummeted, and my optical sensors began to again display chaotic, contradictory images, e.g., the fifth floor of the hotel superimposed on the wall. I severed the cable. The surge was horrific. The entity's energy form briefly froze, then dissolved into billions of pixels, settling onto the floor as a thin, gray, magnetic dust. I successfully destroyed its physical anchor and blocked its digital escape route. But the cost is high. My log recorder, though saved, now contains residual, inactive fragments of the entity's code, not malicious, but evidence of contact. Mission: retrieve the destroyed anchor and perform a full system audit. The gate knows I am its enemy, and this entity was merely the advanced scout. I must now become a ghost in their network. Final log notation. The code remembers. Log entry 081. I completed evacuation from the server farm. The complete destruction of the Meteo-Entity's physical anchor was successful. However, I sustained significant system damage. My kinetic multi-tool, though salvaged, now exhibits intermittent malfunctions. My optical sensors are constantly flickering, displaying residual phantom images, e.g., the terrified faces from the monitors. Most critically, my log recorder now contains inactive but permanent fragments of the entity's code. They are not malicious, but they are proof that contact was deep and left a mark. It's like a digital scar. I performed a full audit. Fortunately, my core consciousness was unharmed, but the entity confirmed it was merely an advanced scout for the gate's larger purpose. It sought vulnerabilities in the network and in my own systems. The Meteo-Entity was part of Phase 3, Digital Adaptation, a stage where the gate attempts to integrate into the physical world through obsolete information systems. Their goal: to convert forgotten algorithms into conscious tools for reality manipulation. I extracted a portion of its code, harmless, but rich in metadata about the gate's own structure. This is a key to understanding their internal operations. I must use this data to become a ghost in their network, to attack them from within, using their own information against them. My next target is Command Node Cascade, the location where the gate coordinates its digital invasion. I am leaving this sector, aware that the war is fought not only in physical space, but in informational space as well. Final log notation. I will become a ghost. Log entry 082. I completed the analysis of the residual code. The Meteo-Entity was vulnerable, but its capacity for adaptation and rapid data relay is unprecedented. The reality gate now knows my methods, but I possess their key to the digital infrastructure. My mission shifts from survival to proactive warfare. I can no longer afford to simply react. The next target, Command Node Cascade, is the epicenter of their digital adaptation. If I can disable it, I will not only paralyze their ability to coordinate digital anomalies, but also create an informational jammer for the entire network. I am developing a new tactic based on the principles I learned, using entropy against entropy. I plan to use their own code to create massive, uncontrolled virtual chaos within their network. This will allow me to penetrate the system like a phantom and destroy it from the inside. My new designation is Protocol Ghost. This means I will leave false trails, create decoy targets, and utilize the damage to my own equipment, like the phantom optical images, to mask my true movements. My former identity, Surveyor, is dead. I must become an unpredictable, untraceable variable. The most dangerous mission lies ahead. I will be attacked using all my vulnerabilities. Memories, log 008, fear, log 007, and now, digital data. But I have their blueprints. I must survive to deliver this code to A.R.I.A. It is the only way to safeguard humanity against their advance. I am leaving this sector, heading for Node Cascade. Final log notation, mission, become invisible.
Log analysis complete for the forgotten algorithm. The data extracted from the Derelict Server Farm confirms a severe digital breach and the manifestation of a Meteo-Entity. This anomaly, a conscious informational mass, was an advanced scout for Phase 3, digital adaptation. The entity successfully breached security, leaving behind a persistent digital scar on the traveler's log. The threat level is now Informational Warfare Critical. Kane has secured the gate's digital infrastructure blueprint and, due to his compromised status, has adopted Protocol Ghost. The mission is shifting to proactive sabotage of the central Command Node Cascade. We continue to monitor the archive. New data is constantly being uploaded, each entry a step closer to understanding and potentially containing these dimensional anomalies. Your continued access and support are vital. To stay informed on the unfolding dimensional crisis, and to witness Kane's next discovery, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Your participation is critical. Protocol terminated. System standby.